want you to hit me as hard as you can.
We'll tear your soul apart.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Now the dream is over. It's acted away.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Talking Movies. My name is Josh.
My name's Chris.
I'm Clay.
And I'm Randall.
And today we're talking about the 1990 movie Hardware.
Yeah. Got copies.
And he's got all the physical media.
All the show and tells.
Get ready for an encounter with some seriously heavy metal. Get ready for Hardware.
Oh, man. So, yeah, 1990 Richard Stanley banger.
Give us a
I've
rundown.
got lots to say about this movie. I just watched the special features, and it kind of opened my eyes to a whole new realm of this movie that I've seen a million times now. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I don't know. I really like it. It's a robot creature feature. I think that all the practical effects were pretty amazing in it. The fact that they made this movie on a $1.5 million budget was sort of a labor of love, lightning in a bottle moment for them all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I've always liked it. It's, it's no Terminator, that's for sure. And it sort of lulls in spots. But I think the sort of style over substance, it's all about the aesthetics. The world of the sort of the bombed out post-apocalyptic world is done really well. There's some cameos of, Lemmy and cool people and Guar. And I don't know, man. It's a vibe. What'd y'all think?
Who wants to go?
Everybody jump in at once.
Well, okay.
I'm glad you have something. You go ahead, Randy. You go ahead.
Okay, so I was super excited for Lemmy, and then I was super sad when it was freaking Ace of Spades. But of course, it was Ace of Spades.
Of course.
But I love Lemmy. I love Motorhead. This felt like a mixture of Blade Runner and Mad Max mixed with Tetsuo, and not done as well as any of them, but in a way that I like. So I don't know if that makes sense. It's not meant to be like talking shit, but it's just like objectively like made. My observation is like they pulled from these things, and the budgetary restraints I wasn't aware of, so that makes a lot of things make sense. And then the one thing about the people in the movie was that I couldn't figure it out, but for like 45 minutes, I was getting driven crazy by Dylan McDermott's character. I couldn't figure out why until it just clicked. He reminds me of John Bernthal from Sicario, like specifically from Sicario, like his like kind of creepy talk to the girl, and you're not quite sure if you can trust him or not. Now in this movie, it turns out he's not the guy from Sicario. He's actually like a reasonably okay dude, I guess, kind of a flaky guy, but the Sicario dude was a big piece of shit. But I don't know. The first like 30 minutes, I couldn't focus on the movie. I was just not brought into it. I didn't understand it. I wasn't enjoying it. And then when it started going, I was like, okay, I get it. So I want to rewatch it because I liked the second half like 4x what I did the first. So I think now that I've seen it all, I can rewatch it and enjoy the first half a little bit more because I wasn't sure where it was going. Limited like what's the word, settings. It had a lot of being in this one place the whole time, and I wasn't sure what really was the story and kind of until the end. And I don't grasp things as easily as some people, so it does take some time for me to get into stuff on occasion. And so I'll be honest, I'm very happy that I finished it, because had I stopped it like 20 minutes before or something like that, I would have been pretty lukewarm on it, but I liked it. I don't know that it was objectively well made necessarily. I don't really care about that, so it doesn't matter to me. But I liked all the practical effects, all the music in it was pretty good. Anyways, yeah, I enjoyed it like quite a bit.
I think Dylan McDermott was actually, you know, according to Richard Stanley's vision, he was supposed to be a drug addict with cancer, and he was taking the drugs to like battle down the effects of the cancer. And so he saw McDermott walk in and was like, this is not the guy. You know, he is not, he's like chiseled with muscles and flat top. And he was just like, okay, well, and so somehow it worked out. But it was actually McDermott who apparently he was really into the Bible. And so he was reading scripture in his hotel room, and he's the one that noticed the Mark 13 quote. And then that's how they plugged it into the movie. Like the robot was actually named Mark 13, but then they slid that into the movie a little bit. It was kind of interesting. I don't know. Tidbits there.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, I was watching. I was like, oh, Randy's probably loving this. This is right up his alley.
Yeah, I want to watch it one more time, but I did enjoy it. Like I liked the second half was so much stronger than I think second half, the second 2/3. The first like 30 minutes, it was kind of hard for me to get invested in it. And maybe since I have a bunch going on, I don't really know why, because I would think I would just jump right into something like this. So I just need to give it a second go, but I'm willing to do that pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, like I press play, definitely not expecting Terminator or, you know, Blade Runner or anything near that. So like after the first little bit, I was like, okay, like I can be into this. And then the middle I felt just really drunk. Like once I realized they weren't going to leave the apartment, like after a bunch of nonsense, and then a little bit like, okay, this is going to be the movie. Like we're just in this apartment the whole time.
This is the only set they have.
Yeah,
that's my only real criticism is that. Outside of that, I liked everything else, but that was the one part that was hard to get over a little bit. But
yeah, if they could have done a little bit more than just the apartment, I think I could have had a little bit more fun with it. But still, once the first kill happens, like, oh, okay, like that was awesome. Like need more of that. But there was only like what two big kills, maybe three, I guess.
Well, so there was originally supposed to be 2 more kills, but the movie got an X rating because I guess the kills in the 90s or early 80s weren't supposed to be torturous. And so like all the people flopping around after death and stuff was like, oh no, X rating. And so that meant that a film couldn't get any marketability. It couldn't get any news ads. It was just basically dead in the water. So they chopped the movie up.
Is there a better cut with the added kills in there anywhere?
I don't think one exists.
I saw a review on Letterboxd that said they watched the unrated cut or the X-rated cut. I'm like,
people were asking where he saw it, and he replied. But so while she was having, you know, when she was making love with a guy in the apartment, she was originally supposed to be distracted and watching a video of the Holocaust too, like in her distracted gaze, and that was edited out because it was like a gratuitous Holocaust segment. So
man, all that stuff would have made this movie way better,
right?
I mean, I guess so. These are like music video people, and they kind of spun off and made this movie.
Yeah,
so
I kind of figured that.
Yeah, it has sort of like an MTV vibe. So yeah,
it definitely feels honestly like a cousin to Tetsuo, especially with the music, and it's got the same kind of like imagery, but it's got a different color palette, obviously, because it's in color, whereas Tetsuo's not. But I mean, there's a lot of stuff for me to like about the movie, honestly. Like my gripes are few. It's the setting was a little bit monotonous, and Dylan McDermott was an odd choice as a casting for that. Other than that, man, I liked it. The girl was, I thought she was attractive and she was pretty and whatnot. I thought there was I was expecting like a lot more nudity for some reason in this movie. It just felt like a movie that would have like naked women in it. And I just was a little surprised at the lack of that. Don't really care because I don't need to see that. But like, I was a little surprised at it for some reason. But I mean, overall, dude, I thought it was like a freaking I don't know. I'll give like a 4 out of 5. Man, I had
A
fun.
couple more on the kills. Like the dwarf was actually supposed to get pulled through a metal shredder, so he was supposed to get like shredded to bits.
Nice.
And then I guess in the opening sequence when Shades is talking, there was like supposed to be a one continuous shot, and in the background there were children beating an old man up. And so Miramax is like, you cannot have in your opening shot children beating an old man. Like this is not gonna make everybody want to get behind Dillick McDermott as the hero. He just lets this goes on, behind him in the back. So they cut that out too.
Connection to last week. Bob and Harvey Weinstein.
I definitely noticed the Weinstein name scroll across in the very beginning.
Right.
It was like, I was like, man,
dude. I guess you don't necessarily agree, but all the stuff that they had taken out of that, if that was in this movie, I would be raving about this movie. Like all that stuff would make this so much better. So if there is an unrated version floating around, I would love a copy of that somehow, some way, because
me too. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I would love to have that, because I feel like just those little tiny changes are enough for somebody like me to really, really enjoy a movie more. Like here's an example. Like I'll give you guys one guess what I watched last night, and Carissa watched it and Bricken watched it for my birthday.
It wasn't Terrifier.
Oh, it was Terrifier 2, motherfuckers. Okay. It was absolutely Terrifier.
I thought you were kind of like off the Terrifier train a little bit.
No, dude,
you nailed it.
No. I mean, okay, that's a conversation for another time. But no, I've been trying to get Crystal to watch it, but I didn't want her to like be forced to watch it. I wanted her to suddenly go, okay, it's time for me to sit down and watch this with you. And so I was like joking around, and I was like, hey, it's my birthday. Want to watch Terrifier 2? And she's like, you know what? We can do that. And I was like, seriously? And she's like, yeah. I was like, wait, are you serious? And she's like, yeah. And I go running into Bricken's room. Hey, you want to watch Terrifier? He was like, yeah, I can watch Terrifier. I was like, let's go. And Charlie was like, I'm out. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Dude, Bricken watched the whole movie, dude. I couldn't believe it.
Wow. I mean,
yeah, he was like,
I just thought that was the obvious answer, but maybe not necessarily the correct one, but okay.
Yeah, dude, he watched the whole movie. So I think maybe that going from that, do what?
Parent of the year.
Yeah. But going from that to this, I was a little bit wanting more, I guess. Like, I didn't know what this movie was about. And if we could have watched this on the big screen in the living room, I would have just chosen to watch this because I knew I needed to watch it. But so maybe going from that to this, maybe I should have done that because I was wanting more like insanity. But yeah, man, I thought this was a good movie though. It was fun. And at the end of it, I was like pleasantly surprised. I will say I wanted there to be some, like, you know what I wish we could do is take movies like this and interject, like, if AI could help us make scenes for movies like this and then get our own cut of a movie like this. Because I take it and it's like, but you only have so much you could do. You can add like so many minutes to a movie and it would cost you however much money. I think that'd be great because I would add like small things like extra kills and such to a movie like this. But I was thinking in the story, I was expecting there to be some like mischievous stabbing in the back by Shades, and it never came. And I was a little surprised because I expected him to be like really trying to bang old girl because it was clear that they were like feeling each other. At least he was for sure, and she might be. And then you're like, oh, I've seen this happen before, and then it never came. And I was like, well, it was a little surprising, but
I think that was insinuated, but it never really. Yeah, they just sort of scratched at it. Yeah, man.
I would like to have like a fight scene between him and Dylan McDermott that like they don't become friends no more, and then all of a sudden they need each other back, so they're back to being friends again. And it's like that, roller coaster of emotions type of situation. But yeah, man, the more I'm thinking about it, the more I enjoyed the movie. I liked all the physical effects and stuff. That was awesome.
Yeah, I mean,
practical, excuse me.
They threw out a few plot points and then didn't really do anything with them. It just, they killed they killed the robot, and then the movie ended. They didn't really.
I like that part about it.
I mean, not that I needed some giant like philosophical,
Sure,
what were they trying? They were trying to like pass a bill to like reduced the population or something like that.
I mean, so
Sure.
he has.
I don't remember. Sorry.
Josh is only word in like 5 minutes. Sure.
I haven't. Oh, y'all have been going, but
So Richard Stanley was born in South Africa, and I guess he saw his equivalent of 9/11. There were just wars all over. He moved to like Libya. He fought in Afghanistan. He was like just a very unusual guy. So yeah, his ideas for this movie are, you know, with the eugenics, the people sort of complicit in creating the Mark 13 at the end. They're like, hey, get your job, be one of the 800 people who gets to make
right
the new Mark 13. And then there's like a CCTV world that everybody's just fine with and comfortable with, the sort of surveillance state. He calls these right-wing ideas, but you know, back in the day, I guess they were sort of, you know, more right-wing than
that is pretty effing crazy that would be considered a right-wing ideal.
Yeah. But anyway, so it was sort of, the movie was stemmed from his fears about where we were headed in terms of the world's direction. You know, it was, you know, possibly into the CCTV, you know, mechanical robot driven enforcer type world. Anyway,
I mean, he's only 30 years early. We're heading that direction right now.
It's not too far off. So
yeah,
it looks a little different, but it's heading that way.
I mean, maybe not physical robots, but
shit.
You know, AI. I mean, robots do exist. They do those. What's the like the weird dog one? I can't remember the name of it. It's like Boston Dynamics or Boston.
Oh, bro, we're like, dude,
Dog Army. Yeah,
yeah.
We're pretty close to I Am Robot happening.
Well, also everything's automated.
The fuck that movie is.
Everything's automated now. It's not robots walking around doing it, but
yeah,
it is mechanics. You know, making everything. You know, taking
super crazy, dude. So weird.
No, so there's a lot of good ideas in it. I felt like I was schizophrenic watching this movie because I was like, oh, I like this scene. I think I'm getting into this movie, and then the next scene is like, oh, this is super boring again. Like, I don't know, man. The last like 20-30 minutes were pretty cool. I felt like I finally got into it at that point. I actually liked it when it started really going for it and got super weird. Like the more music video weird stuff, I was like, okay, he's actually like, I feel like he has an idea here. He has a vision. And then there's other points where they're just like, you know, they have to get the plot stuff out of the way. And it just like went in my eyeballs and dripped out my ear. Like I forgot all of it immediately, you know?
Well, the other one thing I wanted to point out was the creepy neighbor guy.
Oh,
that honestly, yeah, that it was so weird that I kind of liked it because I was like, okay, something weird is happening. You know, like something's happening now.
Yeah,
you know? It's not just them walking around talking about stuff.
Well, I mean, the vast majority of this movie, I literally was like chuckling and going, "Boy, I bet Josh is miserable right now." like when Hugh said it was like something he thought I might dig, I was a little bit skeptical of your possible, you know, excitement. But then watching it, I was like, man, he's learned to like a lot of like stuff that I'm into, but I don't know if this one's quite up the right pathway. But
yeah,
I don't know. I definitely enjoyed it more than I was expecting to, based on the first couple of minutes. But I want to watch it again. I might actually end up buying a copy of this one.
I would check this out.
Go ahead.
Yeah. The neighbor is killed by the robot, right? He gets his eyes gouged out, and he gets drilled to death, like through his midsection. Apparently, the drill is positioned in a way to where it is like phallic.
Yeah, so it is. It's literally a dick.
That was what was reminding me of Tetsuo, by the way.
Oh yeah,
the drill dick.
100%.
So when they were shooting the scene where the robot was on top of Stacy, I think that's her name. The whole crew walked off. They were like, "We're not shooting this scene. This is misogynistic." And so,
oh my goodness,
yeah. Okay. So it was just Richard Stanley, the camera guy, and the chick, and she was like, "Look, my justification for shooting the scene is later on, I take the baseball bat and whack the drill off of the robot, you know, and essentially, you know,
I mean, the justification for shooting the scene is because she wants to. Like, what a bunch of women, dude. Like, what pussies, dude. What are we doing?
Well, she's apparently like uber feminist. So she was like, look, I don't care. Like, this is me triumphing over this, situation. But I didn't even catch that. Like, I watched the movie a million times. I never really caught the fact that it was,
Oh, really? That was so obvious to me.
Yeah.
Apparently, it was supposed to be obvious.
It was the drill was always like coming out of the corner of the frame, like it was sticking up like this, like.
Yeah, and it was literally dick shaped.
Yep.
Josh, did you recently watch Tetsuo?
Yeah, last year for the first
Fucking
time.
A, man.
Yeah,
I forgot you watched that. You liked it, huh?
Yeah, it's amazing.
I'm a little surprised you liked that one.
Yeah. Does it make any sense? I don't care. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt when I watched that one. This one has a lot in common with that movie, though. I liked, dude, the music in this movie made it way more enjoyable. Because if the music had been like some Madonna bullshit or something, I would have been very, very bummed out. The music in it was I felt Hugh smiling while I'm watching it, because I was like, yeah, he loves the fucking music in this movie.
So it's very Argento inspired. The lighting is Dario Argento, right?
Oh, that's very clear.
And Richard Stanley loved it. So he was like, look, we're going to do this hodgepodge of cyberpunk and slasher, right? And apparently he got Simon Boswell, which is the composer for Dario Argento's works, to compose the works for this movie. And so the guy saw the country, like the desert scene. He was like, oh, this is like Paris, Texas. So he started playing the slide guitar along with the synth music. I don't know. It's just a creative little something there.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I like weird little gems like that. Sorry, Josh.
No, you're good. Yeah, there is some good stuff in there. Yeah, when it turns into this like trippy music video towards the end, I was like, I don't know what's happening, but this is kind of cool. Like,
oh, excuse me.
Yeah, no, it has its moments. I was in and out throughout.
Dude, there's times that I've watched this and I'm like, this movie sucks, and I'm like, fast forward. And there's other times I watch it and I'm like, man, I can do this. Like, play some Ministry to some, crazy. I mean, there's bad videos going on in there to like, I mean, it's
for sure.
Well, that's my favorite Ministry song too, by the way.
Very industrial, the whole thing.
Yeah. I had fun with it, man. I was very happy to watch it, because I'm telling you, dude, at the very beginning I was a little concerned. I was like, dude, am I going to be bored in this? I was like, oh no. I genuinely felt like bad. I was like, dude, I don't want to tell Hugh I don't like this movie. And I was like, but I'm not the kind of guy that's going to like fake it and be like, oh, I loved it. I just can't do that. It's not how my brain works. And then
no, it's not great.
About 30 minutes in, like, it started to pick up a little bit, and I, like, just weirder shit started happening, because at the very beginning you're like not sure if it's going to actually be weird or not. It starts to be kind of like a love story almost, and then all of a sudden it starts to really start taking these like left turns before you know, all of a sudden it's like 45 degrees the other way. You're like, oh, there we go. Now we're in Weirdsville. This is what I wanted.
It took a wrong turn somewhere.
You know what I'm saying? I need those wrong turns in my life.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Like, at first it's like, okay, it's like, Mad Max knockoff, it's got, it's doing its thing, and like, I've seen this before, and then it does sort of like find its footing, at least at times. I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't say I liked it, but it had some cool moments, and it was worth the watch.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like he maybe bit off more than he could chew. Like, it was like the ideas. I
can agree with that.
The ideas were just like too big for him to like wrangle them with the budget that he had.
Yeah, and obviously,
crew.
Yeah, obviously, if stuff was getting chopped and it was all the stuff that they were trying to do.
Yeah,
that's a bummer too. That stuff sounded like it was awesome.
Yeah,
I think the person who reviewed that and said that it had an X rating, the one he saw, also said that I think Dust Devil was like a superior movie to this. And it's been a while since I watched Dust Devil, and I remember being kind of underwhelmed.
Excuse me.
But I don't know. I might give that a shot one day. Richard Stanley sort of has a sordid career. You know, he torpedoed the one with Marlon Brando. What was the name of that?
Dr. Moreau.
Dr.
yeah, Island of Dr. Moreau. Yeah.
Island Dr. Moreau. Yeah, it was like a
Oh, that's the
huge
same dude.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
It's one
So
of the many.
He got fired off of the movie
Huh.
at some point.
Yeah, that movie had a lot of problems.
Yeah, there's a whole documentary about it, I think. I never watched it, but it's pretty notorious.
And I think he's kind of a diva a little bit. Like he
Seems
has vision and he has, you know, ideas, but sometimes, like obviously with this movie, the ideas were great, but the plot and the execution maybe were a little wonky. So he cannot be told otherwise, right? And so to make an adjustment is like
he seems like he does a lot of drugs.
I mean, look at Colorado Space.
Yeah.
The movie is 1,000,000% amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't say it wasn't, you know. I just said he does a lot of drugs.
I just wanted to clarify my stance on the movie, as if anybody didn't know that I love that movie.
All right. No, the movie's cool. He did get that. He got pretty much blackballed after Moreau, I think, you know.
That's wild. I didn't realize that it was the same dude that did Color Out of Space that did Dr. Moreau. That's interesting.
Yeah. Well, he's not the credited director because he got fired off, but he was the original guy. Yeah. Wild times, man.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
So
oh man.
So you got something to say, Randy?
No, that's all right.
Oh, okay. All right. Any other stray thoughts? We're all good.
Yeah.
Not about this particular movie. No, I'm good.
Yeah, said my piece, I think.
Okay. Well, it's my pick next week. I'm going to pick Lost Highway.
Ooh.
David Lynch.
Dude, you know what? Fuck it. I'm so glad that I'm missing this next week.
So I had something else picked out and then it disappeared off of the interwebs. So I was like kind of like trying to figure something out.
What was your
got
other
on
pick?
here? Originally I was just gonna pick The Hitcher, and because I'd never seen the original.
Never seen that, yeah.
Rutger Hauer.
Hauer, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that I can hop back in when we get to do that one because I have that on VHS, dude. I love that movie.
I've seen the remake with Sean Bean, but I've never seen the original.
Well, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, well, I was a teenager in the mid 2000s, so.
But I mean, it's not like the worst thing I've ever seen, but it is not as good as the original.
I'm sure that's true. I was just trying to pick something that I thought everyone would, you know, have fun with, but then it disappeared. You can't stream it anywhere. So
Lost Highway, man. That's one of those movies that I really wanted to like a lot.
Yeah.
Now, in all fairness, I haven't watched it in a long, long time, but my memories of that movie are not positive.
Yeah, you don't pick me as a Lynch guy.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I figured since Randy was not going to be on next week, it could be a little more out there. So, and I think
I'll watch it if that's what you picked. You know, I'm not tripping, but that's a pretty convenient, you know, skip for me since I'll be at that show next week.
Yeah.
What show you got?
Dude, Circle Jerks, Adolescents, and The Descendants, bro. Like, I can't fucking wait. Dude, that is a ridiculous lineup, and Carissa's going with me, which makes me so happy because we haven't got to do a lot of this stuff together. And this was my birthday gift was the tickets because they weren't like, you know, they weren't like $100, but they weren't, you know, 20.
Yeah.
So she grabbed me a couple of tickets for her and I, and then a couple of my really, really old friends that I don't talk to very often said, "Hey, are you going to go to the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, are you guys going to be there?" And so they're friends with her too. So I'm just really, it ought to be a nice evening. I'm excited. My mom's going to take care of the kiddos, and then after that, I don't have a show really until April. I'm going to Dallas for that No Effects thing. So, but
those are names I've actually heard of.
That show. Man, wait till I send you guys pictures of this like haul that I've got out of Austin. These CDs and shit. I got so much ridiculous music that I think like kind of spans. I got everything from the Beatles to Husker Du, Quicksand, the Raconteurs, White Stripes, Bad Religion, like Hank 3. Like I just found a ton of shit there, man.
Awesome.
Crazy,
Awesome.
crazy haul.
Austin is the right place to dig for
Well,
music.
that's every time I go to Austin, I go hit the record stores because I basically just revamp my entire inventory on, for sure, CDs because that's the only place to get stuff like that. But yeah, did anybody watch anything else this week?
Y'all go ahead. I'll be back in a second.
I caught up on Shogun.
Yeah.
I think I brought it up last week. I talked to Josh and Clay about it a little bit
Good call on that one.
in person, but I think I only mentioned the first episode last week. So I watched 2 and 3.
I heard that was a one and done. Is that true?
It's only a single season. It's 10 episodes.
No, I heard it was like that's it though. They're not making a second. Is that accurate?
Yes,
okay.
It's based off of a book. So they're just,
I'm a little more intrigued now. Then
they're doing the book in the season, and that's it.
Well, that makes me want to watch it more because I don't have to worry about 2, 3, 4 seasons of it.
Kind of. I mean, the samurai stuff is right up my alley.
Yeah.
The single, mini series thing is definitely a big plus for me too. So,
right.
I mean,
I watched the first episode. I thought it was
nice.
Good.
Yeah. After the second episode, I was like, all right, I'm in. This is great. I mean, it's done well enough after the first episode. Like, okay, I see, what they're setting up, but it's still a little kind of confusing.
There's a lot of like threads that they're just setting up that are just kind of dangling in the air at the beginning.
It's like Samurai Game of Thrones. You can tell you in the opening sequence they want it to be like
a bit, but it's a lot more just dramatic, I think, than Game of Thrones. I've seen people throw Game of Thrones around comparing it to it. I mean, the first episode is a little bit. I mean, they boil a dude and you see some other cool stuff, but episode 2 and 3 at least, it's just a lot of dialogue and drama, and it's really good.
Sounds fun.
Political. I mean, it's deeply political too.
It is
a lot of
and it's based off of actual like Japanese history. All the names and stuff are changed, but all the stuff that happens actually happened. It's just obviously dramatized, and
you've definitely got me interested in it.
It's really well done. I'm gonna watch
Sunday night. I was watching that thing on Sunday night. It was like midnight, and I was just finishing like episode 3. I was like, I can't go to sleep yet. I have to finish this. Like I was, and I remember it ended. I was like, man, I really like this show. And I was like, oh, I got 2 more episodes to watch tomorrow, and then they're not out yet. So but I think there's a new one today. So.
Yeah, 4's out. So I'm gonna watch 4.
Oh, so it's not even all the way out yet. Okay, well, I'm definitely gonna have to wait till that one's all the way out so I can just binge watch it over the course of one afternoon, or maybe 2.
And I mean, it's all subtitles. I mean, actually, when they're speaking English, supposedly they're speaking Portuguese.
Huh.
It's just they put it in English just to make it a little easier, I think. But
interesting.
Technically, when they're speaking English, they're actually supposed to be speaking Portuguese.
That's wild.
But there is English in it, but it's mostly Japanese and subtitled.
Well, the one English guy that's like at least one of the main characters in the first episode, he's not Portuguese, is he?
No, but pretty much everybody he meets.
Yeah, everybody else is. Yeah,
everybody else is. So he's speaking Portuguese to. I mean, the first episode has that other, sailor guy or whatever he is, and even the priests.
Yes,
I think are all Portuguese. Maybe not every like English dialogue is. Maybe they just made it easy and just said, well, let's just make anything that's not Japanese. There
was more English in it than I was expecting, actually. Yeah, I was expecting all Japanese, and
it's sort of a go-between language between the Japanese and the Portuguese is Portuguese. So the Japanese, like there's a couple people who are Japanese who speak Portuguese, and there's a couple Portuguese people who speak Japanese. So that's like
they go into it a little bit more in the second episode. I think that the main chick underneath what's his name?
Who was super hot.
The main guy,
she's the chick,
The
You know
both.
me better than that, sir.
Oh.
The guy. No, I'm kidding. He's dick, man. Come on.
Oh man, what's the crap? What's the guy's name? I can't even think
The
of
guy
his name.
from John Wick.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, John Wick.
John Wick guy.
Hiroyuki Sanada.
Wait,
So
the guy that's in like everything?
Yeah.
Yes,
That guy's awesome.
he's the main guy.
Oh, good for him.
So
That's
yeah, I mean,
rad.
from John Wick, and I mean, yeah, I mean every show or movie that needed a Japanese badass guy. He's pretty much
He's
been
the
in it.
guy.
Yeah,
He's that dude.
yes.
Shit.
So,
He's
anyway,
awesome.
I'm in. Yeah, it's
yeah.
good.
I'm definitely gonna watch it. Tori watched it; she liked it too, so we're definitely gonna check it out.
Cool.
Speaking of
Continue.
Japanese, Takashi Miike Gozu. Have you guys ever seen this?
I
I haven't seen that one either. It's supposed to be a wild one.
I'm halfway through it, and I'm like, this has got to be. It's just so weird. It feels like a hallucination or something. But
Yeah.
Well, I'm
I'm
psyched
looking
to
forward
watch that one
polishing it
then.
off tonight.
Okay.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah, I
I
was
got
on my
this
list.
in the mail. I don't know if you got
Oh,
this
cool.
yet.
I didn't buy one,
Suzume.
but
Awesome movie.
good movie though.
Show and tell time for you.
Dude, I went to dude, I got some stuff to show and tell as well. Dude, check this out. Come on, bro.
Bring it on.
Man of War.
Dude, let's go, dude. I got Dead Kennedys, Napalm Death. I got the Shins. I stocked up on some more CMI CDs for the shop.
I don't know if you know this is actually a movie podcast.
No, it's not.
That's awesome.
I'm just messing with you, man.
No, I know. It's the only time I get to talk to you guys, really.
I know it's good.
But yeah, man, I saw the Man of War thing and I was like, yo, who doesn't like Man of War? And I was like, assholes, that's who.
Right. That's right.
Dude, Man of War's so good. I'm gonna blast that shit in a little while, like really fucking loud.
And your loincloth speedo.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go get ready to. Speaking of movies, I'm gonna watch Conan the Barbarian right
Sword,
afterwards.
yeah.
Motherfucker.
There you go.
But dude, I watched Terrifier 2 with the kiddo. What else did I watch this week? I watched a bunch of documentaries on the Ramones because of tonight. So I watched a bunch. I learned a bunch about those guys. I a lot of information about them that I'm going to talk about with Rob here in a little while. That if you guys like the Ramones at all, it'll be an interesting podcast.
So, are you interviewing a Ramone? What's up?
No. It's our topic for the week is the Ramones. We're doing like the history of the Ramones and then like some of our favorite songs by them. Like every week we just it's basically like this show. We just pick a topic. It's not a movie. It's a band or an album or something.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. We're gonna try to do some. We got some good shit, man. I got like 6 backlogged episodes, dude. I got plenty of content finally. So channel's rocking and rolling, and I'm trying to hit 5K by April 27th. That'll be our 1 year mark, dude. Can you imagine that shit? I'm possibly gonna hit somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 subs in our first year. Crazy, bro.
That's awesome. I mean, you're cranking them out, so that's good to see.
And
Some
I'm cranking it
results.
off. Let's go.
It's a Man of War.
The Man of War,
Yeah.
dude. Man, seeing CMI twice in 3 days was fucking awesome, man. I'm so sad y'all weren't with me. I got to go hang out with him in Austin a little bit. Singer was kind of sick. You could tell by the way he was talking, like his throat sounded fucked up. I was like, oof. And then he goes up there and just thrashes it playing the set. I was like, oh, I know how bad that hurts. Oh,
yeah.
But yeah, I'm getting into those dudes pretty well, man. They're fun to be around. But I filmed both sets. I got last thing I'll talk about. I'm sure y'all got other things you want to do, but the Fest 31 Fest is greenlit, 100% happening. We got 4 confirmed bands and a venue. Now I'm just looking to see if I can get 1 or 2 more bands, but I'm fucking stoked, dude. It's June 1st, Saturday in Houston. So
Jet 4 is a good lineup.
yeah, I was thinking about wanting to get 5 or 6 in case one of them drop off for some reason.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's not likely going to happen like that. But yeah, I was trying to get Liberty and Justice and Bullshit Detector to play, but one of their dudes is going to be in Europe, so it's kind of impossible. But it's all good. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to try to make this an annual thing in the summer. So we'll see. I don't know what I'm doing, bro. Fucking fests and shit. What am I
Festival.
talking about, bro? Like,
that was not what I would have expected you to be doing next, but okay.
No.
That
hey
makes
man,
sense. That makes sense.
kind of does. I'm gonna make a shirt that's exclusively for the show, and so I'll make sure that all you guys have a one reserved for you. But I'm gonna do a 2-sided shirt, you know, with a thing on the front and then the band names on the back. So I'm pretty stoked. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, as if you did need more things to do.
I know, dude. Like Krista was laughing at me because of that. Because I'm like, man, I'm exhausted. Oh, by the way, we're gonna put on a show. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. Like, because Dylan Disaster reached out and was like, hey, man, I was thinking about doing a show in Houston. Any chance you want to help book it or whatever? And I was like, I was thinking about doing like a showcase thing for the label. And he was like, hey, that's exactly what you should do. And I was like, fuck, okay, I think I should do it. And then he's like, hey, do you happen to know these guys? And I was like, I actually do know those guys. And so it was very organic. It worked out very well. The one of the bands that are playing, one of the dudes in it is the stepdad of the opening band. And I didn't know that until I booked them both. So Michael from Poppers, the bass player, his stepdad's in Dead Rabbits. And I had no idea. So I was like, hey, we're going to have Dead Rabbits play. And he was like, wait, seriously? And I'm like, yeah, why? He's like, that's my stepdad. I was like, what are you talking about? So
hope they're on good terms.
no, they're good. They're good. I just thought it was funny. No, if they weren't, I would have definitely had to like make some changes because I don't want it to be like weird. But yeah, I'm gonna make sure all the bands get paid and should be a good time, man. We need to do a movie night at your house, Chris. I want to watch something on a projector sometime soon.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, we definitely can. Hopefully.
Can you get TV on? Like, could you get the fights on the projector by any chance?
I could.
Yeah, you want to do that for 300, maybe? Maybe.
Yeah. That's possible.
Let me talk to Brian and see if he was planning on coming out here. Because if he was, then I'll just have it here or whatever. But like, if he's like, no, I don't care, then you know, I'm not trying to invite people to your house. But like, we definitely need to watch a movie sometime soon, though, man. It's been so long.
Yeah, I thought about it before too. Yeah, I mean, we could definitely do a pay-per-view.
That would be awesome. But shit, man. Anybody coming up to the Alamo this week? They're doing Suspiria on Friday.
I'm gonna go see Love Lies Bleeding.
Okay, on Friday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there on Friday.
Oh, I really want to watch that movie, man. I really want to see that.
It looks dope.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Chris and I are supposed to.
With you to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'm like 90% sure that I'm working Friday because Floyd gave his shift to me. They haven't approved it yet, which I might just outright quit if they don't approve it. But assuming that everything goes as planned, I should be there working on Friday.
Okay.
But
good deal.
Dude, I would like to see that movie a lot. I think Carissa and I are finally going to go see Dune. That's what I've been meaning to say. I was like, man, there's another movie I was talking about. We haven't seen Dune 2 yet. I've just been like completely like not talking about it. And I think we're going to go watch Dune 1 this weekend, like rewatch it, and then go see it next, like I think Tuesday. She's going to take the day off of work.
Nice.
Because like that was our birthday idea, was like she was going to take the day off of work so we can go get lunch, go see Dune, and then go see that show at night. And that was like our day to go hang out and be together and spend some time together.
Yeah, you got an IMAX up by you. Go check it out at that if you can.
Is it at that Cut theater or is it somewhere else?
No, is it?
I don't know. Cut's the closest theater, so
I don't think so. Clay was talking about one up there. I remember looking at it whenever I was trying to find IMAX showings, and there's one that's pretty close to you.
It's a big ass movie. It was good in IMAX. It was awesome.
Oh, you watched it in IMAX?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Regal out there. It's expensive, but it's bad to the bone.
I heard that this movie wasn't even shot in IMAX, though. Is that true?
No, it was all shot in IMAX.
Really?
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Oh, cool.
It was amazing in IMAX.
I would love to watch that in IMAX. I'm not even, you know me, man. I'm not even that kind of guy. I don't really care about IMAX type stuff. But this feels like a movie that I would want to go see in IMAX.
Yes,
kind of like The Dark Knight was. I wanted to see that in IMAX.
Yeah, I don't usually like really care that much about it either. But I was glad that I saw it in IMAX. It is a big scale movie.
Have all of y'all seen it already?
Yeah, we all went together.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And we all got Dune buckets.
Yeah, we got our popcorn buckets and went home and Went home and made love to them.
Yeah.
So I assume it was just pretty rad then, huh, man? I'm hearing a lot of good things.
Yeah, that's great. I need to
I've
go
only
see it
seen-
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tori wants to watch it too, so we haven't gotten to see it together yet.
I've only seen a handful of people that came out of Alamo not super excited about it, and it was exactly the kind of people that you would think wouldn't be excited about it. It was
It's
like
not for
either like
everybody, but
it was like bro dudes and then a few ladies that were like, that movie was boring as fuck. And I was like, boring? And I was like, oh wow, I'm very surprised.
I mean,
So I doubt it was actually boring, but
if you like the first one, I can't see how anybody says they don't
Yeah.
like the second one better.
yeah.
Or at least
oh
equal.
really?
Like, I mean, it's
I
pretty
mean-
much consensus better than the first one.
I thoroughly enjoyed the first one, and I wasn't expecting to like it that much. I expected to be like enjoy it, but I bought it on 4K and kept it when I purged all my movies. I liked it enough for that.
Nice.
I think it's like
Yeah,
twice as good as that.
Yeah, there's
Wow,
there's no way you don't think it's at least as good.
dude, that's awesome, man. I mean, I've really grown to really love like the Star Wars type movies too, like just in general, like all that space western stuff.
Yeah.
And this is in the same vein, if
Yeah.
nothing, at the least. So
Yeah, I've
But-
been watching a lot of stuff that like supposedly Herbert was very mad at George Lucas for pretty much ripping off almost every
Oh.
idea
Yeah.
he had, because I mean, yeah, if you really look into it, like Star Wars is basically just a giant ripoff of Dune.
wow,
Like Frank Herbert never really came out and said anything, but like I mean, he's been dead for 20 years or something like that, a long time,
Yeah.
something like that.
If that had happened in more modern times, that would have been a gigantic lawsuit.
Yeah. I mean, he also had a dig at George Lucas because, he couldn't really get his movie off the ground, but George Lucas like killed it with Star Wars, and he had been asked about it over and over and over again, and he never came out right and said like, yeah, he ripped it off.
yeah, screw
like,
that guy. But he's
you
like,
could
"Ooh,
tell-
I'm not really a big fan of his work.
Yeah, like you can tell he was like, yeah, fucking, of course he ripped it off.
Mhm.
And if you really look into it, like it's kind of hard not to see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. When you watch part 2, especially, there's so much stuff with the Chosen One and stuff. You'll just be like, oh yeah,
wow.
there's so much Star Wars in here.
That's
Yeah.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
I got to get out here and go get some food before I film with Rob.
Oh, yeah.
Last thing I'll tell you guys is I did an episode today with one of the guys from that band Harley Poe. Have any of y'all heard of them at all?
No.
From you.
They toured with Amigo the Devil, so I was thinking maybe y'all had heard of
Okay.
them.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning him, but
I would be shocked if y'all didn't like that group. Anyways, we talked for quite a while. It's going to be a really good episode. So I don't usually ask y'all to watch the episodes because it's just I put out too much content for that. I do think y'all would enjoy this episode a lot. And so whenever it comes up, it'll be like 2 weeks probably. But I'll mention it when it comes out. I think you guys will dig it. We talked a lot about like, dude, it's the weirdest episode. We were talking, and so I just like reached over and like hit record, and then I didn't do like an intro for like 15 minutes. We just talked because he was asking me about like addiction, and I didn't really know why. And you'll hear why whenever you watch the episode. So I was talking about some real deep stuff from the get-go, and it was a really, really good episode, like 2 hours long. It was long episode.
Okay.
So if you have the time to throw it on and listen to it while you're doing something else, obviously you don't need to watch it, but
okay.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, dude. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate the time. I guess I'll talk to y'all soon. Are you still taking a hiatus for a couple weeks, Josh?
Yeah,
Like
after next week probably
Okay.
for a little bit because I'm gonna be
Cool.
getting ready to move in and all that shit. So
Well, I don't know what my schedule's looking like, but if you need some help on a Monday or Tuesday, I'm certain I can get out there for that. But if otherwise, let me know what you need help with, and I'll see if I can get out there and help you.
no worries. No worries.
Awesome, man. Well, I'll
appreciate
see y'all next time. I'll talk to you fellas later.
All right, man.
All right. Later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just wrap it up. Lost Highway next week. See you guys
Nice.
later.
Heck yeah, man. Love it.